Good morning. My name is Jean-Paul Chabot, coming to you this morning from my living room to welcome you to this virtual service, the 9th online-only service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Waynesboro. Around the nation and in our fellowship, some are out of work. Some are getting anxious for the economy to reopen. Some governors have made economic decisions to start moving forward with life as usual as it was before the pandemic. Meanwhile, Virginia is staying the course, hoping to see the data on the progress of the disease to change meaningfully before making our cautious return. Some people have settled in for the long haul with grace and resolve, while others around us have frayed nerves. And some of us hope, despite our frayed nerves, that we show grace more often than not. In a time like this fellowship and this service offers you a place, a time of calm, a reminder that we are enough, that we have what it takes to weather the stress and the boredom and the cabin fever that this time presents us with. This time is a time of joy and comfort, always aware of the challenges that surround us, but confident in our ability to come through. This Unitarian Universalist congregation is a community that seeks to learn more about being human. We haven't figured out all of life's questions, and we invite you to continue your learning and growth with us, for now in this virtual format. Welcome to this morning, this day, and this opportunity to come together virtually in celebration of the community we are. We thank you for joining us for this service. Let us kindle the flame in the chalice of our hearts with these words. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our power, to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, Spirit of freedom.
Our words of prayer are by the Reverend Victoria Weinstein. We reflect with gratitude this day for all those whose lives have nurtured ours, the life-giving ones who heal with their presence, who listen with sympathy, who give wise advice, but only when asked for it. We are grateful for all those who have mothered us, who have held us gently in times of sorrow, who celebrated with us our triumphs, no matter how small, who noticed when we changed and grew, who praised us for taking risks, who took genuine pride in our success, and who expressed genuine compassion when we did not succeed. On this day that honors mothers, let us honor all nurturers, generous souls who from somewhere in their being have freely and wholeheartedly given life and sustenance and vision to us. Dear God, creating one, creative spirit that calls us into co-creating the world, grant us life-giving ways, strength for birthing, and a nurturing spirit that we may take attentive care of those precious beings entrusted to us by biology, or by destiny, or by friendship, fellowship, or fate. Give us a mothering heart today. Amen. Each week as we come together, We share the joys and sorrows that are a part of our lives, the things that we want you all to celebrate with us, the things that we want you to commiserate with us, to show us care. So today, we have received these joys and sorrows to share. Laura Riggin writes, I want to share the joy of several celebrations in my family. Friday marked what should have been my son Will's graduation from the University of Georgia. We are celebrating now without the official commencement ceremony, which is tentatively scheduled for sometime in October. Tomorrow we celebrate Clara's 18th birthday, and next Saturday her high school graduation, again without a commencement ceremony. Life is going on. And Karen Pickering writes, I would like everyone to keep my friend Christy Majors in their thoughts and prayers as she gets through her first Mother's Day without her daughter Tess. The following day, May 11th, would have been her 19th birthday. So both days together will be hard, very hard for her. Tess was murdered last December 11th on her college campus. Let us hold these joys and sorrows and all those that remain unspoken in our hearts together in a time of quiet.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere.
Hello, our first reading is by Leslie Jameson, novelist and essayist. Empathy is a choice we make. Empathy isn't just something that happens to us, a meteor shower of synapses firing across the brain. It's also a choice we make, to pay attention, to extend ourselves. It's made of exertion, that dowdier cousin of impulse. Sometimes we care for another because we know we should or because it's asked for, but this doesn't make our caring hollow. The act of choosing simply means we've committed ourselves to a set of behaviors greater than the sum of our individual inclinations. This confession of effort chafes against the notion that empathy should always rise unbidden, that genuine means the same as unwilled, that intentionality is the enemy of love. But I believe in intention, and I believe in work. I believe in waking up in the middle of the night and packing our bags and leaving our worst selves for our better ones. Our second reading is The Wellspring of Moral Action by Sharon D. Welch, a UU theologian. It comes from her book, Sweet Dreams in America, Making Ethics and Spirituality Work. The wellspring of decency is loving this life in which people die, people suffer, there are limits, and we make mistakes. The wellspring then of moral action is not utopia, not a counterfactual vision, not a declaration that the world could and should be otherwise. Rather, it is a deep affirmation of the joy, richness, and blessing that the world is. The ground of challenging exploitation, injustice, and oppression is not a vision of how the world could be or will be in the future reign of God or after the revolution. The ground of challenging injustice is gratitude, the heartfelt desire to honor the wonder of that which is, to cherish, to celebrate, to delight in the many gifts and joys of life.
A couple of days ago, I got a long email from my friend Leslie in St. Louis about our friend Debbie, in whose home I have attended several Passover Seders. Debbie has been sick for 7 weeks now with COVID-19 symptoms. She has tested negative for the virus twice, but her doctors are treating those as likely false negatives because everything else says that's what it is. She thinks maybe she's improving a little and then she's right back where she was. It just won't go away. She has not been just sick, but quite discouraged too, because she's not getting better. 7 weeks is a long time to be sick with something that is not identified as a chronic illness. Then she saw a news article about a doctor who had gotten the disease and also had long, lingering symptoms before finally and slowly getting better. The newspaper account of the doctor experiencing something like she is experiencing before finally returning to health gave Debbie that first sense, that first glimmer of hope that maybe she was going to come through this eventually. But my friend Leslie was not satisfied with just a news article to encourage Debbie. Leslie noted the doctor's name, the hospital he's associated with, and tracked down his contact information. Leslie sent the doctor an email explaining Debbie's situation and giving Debbie's contact information, asking the doctor to contact Debbie with words of encouragement. That's Leslie. The word chutzpah has her picture next to it in the dictionary. She didn't necessarily expect the doctor to respond, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. Now, we all know that not every doctor has the bedside manner we would hope for when we are sick. There's a wide range in the degree of expressed caring from doctors. They've got a lot going on that we need them for, whether or not they are as emotionally supporting as we need in some given moment. And what doctor has the time to respond to the pleas for encouragement from total strangers across the country? But the doctor did respond, sending Debbie a gracious and encouraging email that meant the world to her. Leslie, in addition to being the embodiment of chutzpah, is a singer in the St. Louis Symphony Chorus, a cantorial singer at our synagogue Central Reform congregation, and a stalwart performer in the musical program at a local Episcopal church. For decades, she has been writing parody lyrics to religious, popular, and holiday songs. Many of them are quite irreverent, but her parody lyrics for Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah are inspirational. Here they are. Peace in the world is what we ask. To heal the world we've made our task, with help from all the angels here among us. They may look just like you and me. No wings or halo can you see. Perhaps you'll hear them singing Hallelujah. You see them everywhere you go. They never tell, you cannot know. They probably don't think that they are special. They feed your kids and calm your fears. They lift you up and dry your tears. And some of them are singing Hallelujah. They're tall and short and young and old. You may not see their hearts of gold, but they were there to help when they were needed. And from these angels peace does flow. So look real hard or miss the glow, or close your eyes, they're singing Hallelujah. You may feel short on self-control, but if you look into your soul, you know sometimes it's you who does the lifting. You say that there's no credit due. You'd rather that nobody knew that you're the angel singing Hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Leslie herself is one of those angels who does the lifting behind the scenes. At a time in her life when she was less economically secure than she is now, she learned of a woman whose vehicle was totaled in an accident. This woman had no insurance that would replace her vehicle, no savings to replace the vehicle, and as a result had no way of driving to work or transporting her children. Without a vehicle, something beyond her possibility, she would lose her job, her livelihood. Her children would suffer. And without much of a second thought, Leslie signed over her own vehicle to this stranger in need. But talking about that's not where she put her energy. And I only know because her daughter tells the story of Leslie giving away her vehicle to a stranger. No, now she celebrates the mitzvahs that others do, the joy and the encouragement that they bring. We live in a time when healthcare workers are being celebrated as heroes. We know that what is being asked of them for our benefit is immense and overpowering. We've read the stories of doctors and nurses who live in a tiny apartment or trailer for the duration of this health crisis, separate from their spouse, their partner, their children, their loved ones, so that they can protect their families while continuing to put their own health and well-being on the line to serve the victims of this crisis. We've watched nightly reports of providers in the hardest hit areas like New York who are working beyond capacity with no end in sight at any given moment. And so we have seen the growth of ways our society has chosen to honor healthcare workers, especially through a spate of cartoons that depict doctors and nurses and other providers as superheroes. Even superheroes to superheroes. Have you seen the one with a medical team in scrubs and masks walking down a hospital hallway that is lined on both sides with all the comic book superheroes? The comic book superheroes bow to the med team, recognizing that their real-world sacrifice surpasses the fictional exploits of Superman or Wonder Woman. And all this heroism comes at a cost. Healthcare providers in this crisis face not just the disease, but exhaustion and mental health crises on our behalf. In her grateful reply to the doctor, Debbie wrote, "I know my friend Leslie sent you the recording of her singing her version of the Leonard Cohen song, Hallelujah. You definitely are one of those angels she sings about." Wounded angels, stressed superheroes, superheroes with moral injuries and mental health crises that will be with them even once we get beyond COVID-19. So on this day when we honor mothers and all those who have mothered and nurtured us, let us commit ourselves again to doing what is within our power to ease the burden of others. And let us also honor those who provide care and the possibility of surviving this time and this disease. Let us recognize, without engaging in hero worship, the risk and injury these angels and heroes endure and sometimes succumb to in their effort to see us through this time. In South Africa, a young musician in the electronic music genre and his pastry chef wife, confined at home for the duration of their own lockdown, repurposed the famous Irish blessing, substituting Zulu and Afrikaans words among the English words of that famous blessing which begins, "May the road rise up to meet you." They recorded it in their living room and offered it in support of South Africa's healthcare workers. David Scott and Jüte Dorfling Scott have given us their permission to use their South African blessing today. And it will be our closing music today. And so we close with this traditional blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm on your face, and until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. May you find support and nurture and strength in the universe. Amen, and blessed be.
May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. Mag die son skyn warm op jou gesig. In woele en dieselfde amasimu Size sibonane futi, machot gefaso in die palm van sy hand. And until we meet again, until